What's up, guys? Zach Tyler here, coming at you with a kind of also a new series I'm doing. This new series is, as you saw in the intro, is going to be called the Challenge series, and that's pretty much where you send me a message on my YouTube channel of a deck or a deck list you already have or something of a certain archetype or whatever, and you challenge me to make it better. I started this because one of my subscribers, by the name of Dragon77727, sent me one of his Spellcaster decks he had, and told me if I could make any fixes to it, if I could help it out or whatever. And this is what I came up with. So I'm going to go into this in a second, right after I explain the challenge series to you. So yeah, all you have to do is send me an inbox of whatever deck or archetype you want. Challenge me to make it. I'll only do maybe one every week or so. So and if I get more than one, which I suspect I will, I'll just randomly choose one. And keep in mind that just because I make the deck, I'm not saying my deck is superior or it's better or it's the best deck out there, or whatever. I mean, usually, like this was my first go at making this Spellcaster deck, and I will do my best on it. I will make it as consistent and viable and competitive as possible. But sometimes, depending on the archetype, that's either not possible, or I may have messed up or not realized the card could do this or blah blah blah. So yeah, so keep that in mind. But we'll get it right into it. His old build kind of had more of a Dark Magician flair to it, and Dark Magician Girl. I personally don't like those builds, even though I love the card art for both of those. I don't like them because they're a little bit too slow, and the potential Jed draws are too much in my opinion. But yeah, so this deck has two parts to it. It has the Apprentice Magician part and the Gaga part. The Apprentice Magician, when this card is summoned, place one spell counter on a face-up card that you can place a spell counter on. When this card is destroyed by battle, you can special summon one level 2 or lower spellcaster type monster from your deck in face-down defense position. So what this does, and you have 5 targets for these. You can either, well, actually you have 7. You can get out another Apprentice Magician, which you don't usually do. But the main part about the Magician that's good is that you have 3 directions and ways of playing it. You can go into Crystal Seer, which is good draw power. It's kind of like a mini pod duality, but for a flip effect. You can go to Night End Sorcerer for synchroing next turn if you think he's going to survive. Or you can go to Old Vindictive Magician if you need that extra destruction. So you have different ways of playing depending on what your opponent has and what your hand is, which I really like those outs that you have with her. And she's just a good defensive card. You run 3 Break of the Magical Warriors for several reasons. For one, back row destruction. With him and the 2 MSTs and Heavy Storm, you have a shit ton of back row, and it's just good in general. 2, he's a 1900 beater, so he's just good in general. And he's also a target for Summoner Monk, which I'll go into later, but it's an amazing card. It's a spellcaster. And he's a target for Magician Circle. If he attacks, you can activate Magician Circle, which is nice. He's also a target for Magician Circle, special summoning him. And you can use him for Magical Dimension. So yeah, I really just like Breaker in general. So the second main part to this deck are the Gagagas. I'm running 2 of each for the fact that it makes it easier to get out the targets. And getting them together is just ridiculous. If you don't know what Gagagas do, I'm not going to go into it because they have really long effects, but just do a network them and they're amazing. They pretty much get out any level 8, 7, 6, 5, whatever level you want, XYZ, if they're both on the field. And so I run 2 of them, and I'll explain more later how you can get them out easier. I run 1 Medium of the Ice Bear, kind of a Tekken. If your opponent controls 4 or more cards than you do, you can special summon this card from your hand. Your opponent can only activate 1 spell or trap card per turn. So she's a spellcaster, so you can get her out with Magical Dimension. And the deck kind of revolves around not having that many cards on the field per se. So getting her out with her effect isn't that hard, and plus her second effect is amazing, only 1 per turn. She can kind of get over, because she's only 2200 attack. So I'm not sure if I'm going to run her in the final build, or if I would run her in the final build, but she's a Tekken right now, and you can see how she does. I then run Defender of the Magical Knight. He's a target for Summoner Monk, and he's pretty good. When this card is normal summon, place 1 spell counter on it, max 1. Once per turn, if a face-up spellcaster type monster on the field would be destroyed, you can remove 1 spell counter from a card you control for each of those monsters instead. So it's just a stall. You can save your Gagagas, you can save your Summoner Monks to use its effect again. It's pretty much it. He's just a standard whatever. And then two Summoner Monks. Summoner Monk is amazing spellcaster, one of the best in my opinion. He's just really good. Discard a spell card, special summon 1 level 4 monster from your deck, and it cannot attack this turn. So you can either go the obvious play and go into Utopia or Main Stroke the Symphony to Jim, or if you have, let's say you already have a Gaga Girl on the field and you protected it for a turn, you can summon Summoner Monk, special summon Gaga Magician, and then get the combo out. So he's another target for Gaga Magician, and it kind of makes the whole Gaga plays easier. And then I run 2 Magician Circle, just for the fact that they're really good. When a Spellcaster type monster declares an attack, special summon 1 Spellcaster type monster of 2,000 or less attack. So, I mean, there's just a lot of things you can do from that. You can also get out Summoner Monk, you can get out Breaker, you can get out Magician. There's just a shit ton of things you can do with Circle. I run the standard lineup of Staples Traps, just because I don't really think a deck can be competitive without this, honestly, right now. Just because you need this to stop your opponent's plays, and 2 Torrential Tributes are game-changing cards, and in this format especially, you need as many game-changing cards as possible. I run 2 Magical Dimensions, just because it's a staple in any Spellcaster type deck. Target 1 monster you control, tribute it, and special summon 1 Spellcaster type monster from your hand, then destroy 1. So it's a special summon and a pop for only 1 tribute, so yeah, I like it. 2 MST, just because again with the Breaker you have a lot of backward destruction. 2 Secret Village of the Spellcasters. I don't really want to rely on this card, but it's a pretty good card when you pull it off, just because the fact that they can't activate spell cards is a huge deal for you. The only problem is that obviously it has a negative effect, but you have all your cards are Spellcasters, so hopefully this won't be a problem. But if you don't like this, and sometimes I don't, I was actually questioning running it, you could always take it out for 2 other staple spells. And also, you can also discard it for Summoner Monk's effect, because you don't really need this card, so that's good. I run 3 lands, and honestly, just because I kind of want to run 2 to 3 lands in every deck, it's just that good. It's just amazing. You can bait with it by setting it, and say they attack into your Breaker, activate this, and your Breaker's 2,700 essentially for that battle. You can stop your cards from getting bottomless, compulsed, booked, anything like that. Dark Hold, Torrential Tributed, anything. So yeah, it's just a staple, useful, versatile, all-around good card. I run 2 Pod Dualities for the fact that you normal summon a lot. Because you set your Magicians, you set your Seers, you set your old Vindictives, you normal summon your Breakers, and it just adds that consistency. And then obviously Heavy Storm, Dark Hole, Monster Reborn, just staples. For the extra deck, I run a Heretic Sun Dragon Overlord of Hilla blah blah blah. I have no idea how to pronounce that. Just because you're Gaga targets, and it's an extremely good card, 3,000 attack, and can pop a lot of cards in the field. Run 1 number 11 Big Eye, just because of your Gaga targets, and it's amazing. 1 Maji Magician Girl, Gaga targets, and again, its effects are retarded, just really good. 1 Adrius for your Gaga targets, and then 3 Utopias and Symphony Djinn for Summoner Monk. 1 Leviathan, because you do have 2 Gaga Girls, and while you probably never will do it, it's just good just in case to have it out. 1 Gachi, because you run quite a few level 2s, and it might happen. You might need to stall. And then for your Night Ends, you run the Catastor, the TG Hyper. He's also a Spellcaster, which helps a little bit. The Brio, the Gaia Knight, the Arcanite Magician, and the Stardust. So yeah, guys, this is my take on the Spellcaster deck. That being said, in my opinion, Spellcasters are a little too slow to be competitive in this format, just because this format is so fast. Not that Spellcasters are bad, they're not bad. It's just that this format is incredibly fast, and any deck that's created needs to be created fast. Or a control build, which I've kind of done here. I've made like a semi-control, semi-fast Spellcaster deck. But, this is the best I think that I could make at the time. If you guys have any suggestions, comments, criticisms, you think you can make it better, I invite you to post a video response or a build in the comments that you think would be better than this one. And, yeah. So thank you, Dragon77727, and I look forward to any other of your guys' challenges. Thanks, YouTube, and I'll see you later.